Hello, hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Grow Wealthy Grooming. I am your host, River Lee, founder of the Savvy Groomer, where I teach groomers to go from being burnt out, broken, to healthy, wealthy, and happy. So welcome back, guys, to this show. If it's your first time here, please feel free to subscribe to the YouTube channel and click on the notifications. We go every Monday live at 7 p.m. Eastern. We'd love to see you here. So let's talk about today's show. So it actually had something else in mind. However, I felt really important to talk about it this week. There were just too many things that I was like, okay, I'll put my idea for this week for next week and talk about this. So I really want to have an adult conversation today about survival mindset versus, I'm going to just call it the Savvy Groomer mindset. I try to think about calling it like the abundance mindset, the like badass mindset, but without taking ownership of it, I really think that it's just what I believe. Ultimately, you don't have to believe what I believe, but I'm going to tell you what I believe. And I'm wearing my Greedy Bitch shirt because while talking to people about my next upcoming Price Decrease Masterclass Live, I heard so many limiting beliefs, guys, and it really upset me. Not so much the people that were having the concerns about taking the class, but the people that were almost pushing other people down. It upset me so much. So first of all, I want to give a shout out to Marie and Jennifer for coming live. Thank you guys so much for coming live. It's so helpful when you guys come live. It just makes this so much more fun. I'm not even going to lie. It's so much more fun when you guys get to come here with me and hang out, and I might do some pre-recorded stuff in the summertime just because it is a short summer season. And again, I apologize for the background. I'm in the kitchen for now until my office is finished getting built. So what is a survival mindset, guys? A lot of times it's living paycheck to paycheck or making a lot of money, but then having no idea where it's going, right? It's a situation where you are doing everything that you think you should do. The industry has told you to do, but it's not enough, right? I go on these virtual coffees, guys. I teach at seminars. I teach hundreds of people at trade shows. I talk to thousands of people a year in one-on-one things like this, in other calls and things like that. Hey, Jamie, also great to see you here live. Thank you so much for being here. I talk to all these people and I keep seeing the same things over and over and over again. And that's why I create masterclasses, because if I could hold everyone's hands, teach everyone one-on-one, I would. But being one person, I want to change this industry. And the only way I can do that is doing larger scale things. So I get on these calls and there's all of these concerns, right? And again, I hate the idea of calling them mindset, but like blocks, or saying that they are, just making excuses, because I don't necessarily think they're trying to make excuses. I think it's more of being overwhelmed and exhausted, and everyone else is giving you advice that just isn't working. So who am I to give you this advice? Okay. So let's talk about it. First of all, stop looking in the wrong place. And it hurts my heart again. When you guys go into these Facebook groups, I have no problem with Facebook groups, but you have to understand these people can say whatever they want, right? They can say they're making all of this money, but are they? And if they are making all this money, do they need this money? And we talked before in other lives, like Keeping Up with the Joneses. You don't know if this is just their hobby business. You don't know if they inherited a building, right? And now they can just groom and they don't have to worry about their rent going up to $3,000. We don't know what's going on in their financial life, no more than when you look on Instagram and you see people that are living these extraordinarily lavish lifestyles. We don't know if they actually, it's always like the joke on House Hunters, right? It's like, I'm a butterfly farmer and our budget's $1.2 million, right? It's just ridiculous. You're like, how is this possible? So when you're asking for advice, ask yourself, is this person actually an expert? Am I just trying to get different ideas? And how is that actually going to help me? And the same thing goes when you look in the wrong places for how much you should charge for your grooming. asking other groomers how much they charge. Now, it might give you an idea. Are they charging $200 or are they charging $20? But again, we don't know what's going on in their business, their financials, if they even need money. And unfortunately, no one wants to go first, right? If you are, quote unquote, the highest in your area, everyone just, let's say, charges $45 and you're $65, you don't want to be the first person probably who's up to $100, because you have all these concerns that you have, and they're valid concerns. But if you don't go up, they're not going to go up, right? Because someone's got to have the courage to go first. And a great example of that is one of my students. And again, I didn't ask her permission because this was a last minute thing. I wanted to make sure that I could even mention this, but I didn't ask her permission yet, so I won't. She had to be the first to go first. So her prices were about $65 for a small dog. She was one-on-one in a kind of a touristy area, so we had to bump her up to about $125. That's a big ass jump, guys. That is 100% jump, basically. And everyone else was charging about what she was doing or less. So everyone else was, again, like 45 to 65. Probably around 50 was the average. But she had a very different business model. She was one-on-one. The dogs got to stay there. It was a really fun time. She used luxury products, which was a concern with trying to figure out how to talk to her clients about that. But ultimately, in order for her business, because everyone else is doing 10 or 20 dogs a day, because they would have bathers, they were high volume shops, she had to charge double to keep her business open. Now, we had to do, and this is before the price increase masterclass, we did take about 12 weeks digging into things. And recently, I did ask her to audit the price increase masterclass. And she's like, yeah, we could have gotten this all done in 6 weeks, which sucks because she had to pay way more for it. But she was glad that we were able to kind of condense it all. But she did. She had to call over competition and turn them into a community. But she probably wouldn't have gotten that advice in a Facebook group. So consider who you're asking, because the average groomer in a Facebook group is not going to tell you to do that, right? They're going to tell you to stay in the middle. Well, in the middle has no basis, right? So that's one thing. Another thing is just how much of you guys are worried about losing clients or not having enough clients. And again, that's why I want to call it the survival mindset, but it has to do with the lack of abundance. We need a lot more groomers now, and even more in the next 5 years. Okay? There are more than enough. Now, if you are having trouble marketing to your clients, that's a different thing. And it may be that you're attracting a lot of the wrong clients. But again, the goal is always to figure out how we are going to get the right clients and build a business around your lifestyle, your wants, and have them pay you enough that you can live that. I'm sure a lot of you guys want to be traveling. A lot of you guys want to take time off, right? And that's not fair. I have a student, again, I didn't ask his permission because this was a last minute thing. And he does. Him and his husband work 3 weeks of the month, and they take an entire month off. Again, before price increase masterclass, but they have gotten all the things that they needed through my coaching. And let me tell you guys, the price increase masterclass is a big discount. To do 3 months worth of coaching is $3,600. That's a lot of money to do all of that. The price increase masterclass, whether you come live or self-study, is less than a third of that price. It's a significant discount. But he wanted to figure out a way to earn the same amount of money, get the best clients, every 4-week clients that would work around what him and his husband wanted. And he wants to do grooming competitions and this and that. And now they have the freedom and flexibility to do that. Why? Because we agreed what we wanted to do in his business. We figured out the math of how to do that. And then we set up a business that suit his personal needs instead of being at the mercy of his clients. Right now, it has never been a better time to make these shifts between inflation, between the lack of groomers, the power really is in our hands as business owners. Now, it's also in the employees' hands, right? But that's where, too, having a groomer drought, we need to consider how, God forbid, all of your employees go open their own businesses. How can you afford to run your business either with low staff or no staff? Okay. And it's not that easy, right? And we all want to make excuses, right? We all have these employees that, maybe aren't perfect, right? And I'm trying not to be mean because, listen, I've been that employee. A lot of us have employees that won't take less than 50%. But when you ask that 50% groomer, okay, will you take 30%, 50,000, will you take 30,000, 50,000, 75,000, or 100,000? They don't know what they want per year, right? And so figuring out how to move them to hourly so they can get raises, guys. They're going to want to buy their own house. They're going to want to create a long, stable life. And when they are solely commission, it creates this constant roller coaster. Okay? And there are so many ways we can do that. But first, we need to figure out what would you need to charge in your business to pay them or pay your staff 30% and make it a livable wage. I was just on a call today and they were like, I feel like $15 an hour for a bather is a good price. I said, well, let's look it up. And to get an apartment in their area, we're looking at about $30, $35 an hour. So hiring someone long-term as a bather, that bather could only see that position as a time when they are either in training and they're getting paid to train, but they're not going to stay long-term. Unless if they either don't need the money, which those are rare. And if they don't need the money, they're going to always be on a hair trigger, right? If I don't need the money and I don't need this job and you piss me off, I'm walking out the door. So this is where we've got to kind of work on that. And a lot of that is going to be price increases. It's just the reality. Between inflation and everything like that, it is what it is. But if you're having trouble finding staff, is it because what you're offering financially doesn't make sense? And I understand not wanting to go first again. That same person said, I wish more people would do hourly. And yet they pay commission. So for us to stand up and say, okay, this is my line in the sand. I'm going to pay a livable wage and I'm going to pay hourly. Now, that's not a today problem. But when we are ready to make that shift, we need to know how much money that's going to be. And again, I teach that in the Price Increase Masterclass. We teach you how to collect the information that you need in order to raise your prices or maybe just restructure. Maybe 90% of your pricing makes sense, except for certain dogs or certain categories. Maybe you're not charging enough for creative color. Maybe you're not charging enough for your showgrooms. And the best way to find that out is to audit those things. Okay? So I want you to consider doing this. Now, this is the last Price Increase Masterclass we're doing live. The benefit of coming live is that we do one module for about an hour. We start at 8 p.m., so right after my live here, 8 p.m. on Mondays. We go from about 8 to 9 teaching the class, and then from 9 to 9:30, we have a group session where we talk about what we just learned, and we answer questions. And then we do another hour-long group together on Thursday nights from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern. And you have the Facebook group, a community of groomers who are actually going through the same thing you have, and also some groomers who have been selectively chosen to help mentor you who have successfully gone through this change. And there's no right or wrong answer, guys. It's figuring out what works best for you. So this is where I want to kind of leave it there. Like I said, it really requires a lot of decision making. And it's hard, right? Because you don't want to lose your clients because you love them. But again, it comes down to making sure that you are taking care of you and your family. And I know how hard that is, right? The last thing you want to do is increase prices and have people reject or have them leave you, right? I mean, that's a terrible feeling. But I will say this is that if our emotional attachment is only being held on because of what we charge them, then is there really an emotional attachment together, right? I couldn't come up with a dollar amount to leave any of my good friends. And in fact, some of the best clients I've ever had, when I increased my coaching, for instance, I've definitely had people that said, oh, I'm so sorry I can't afford this anymore. I said, that's perfectly fine. And then I had another person tell me, you've really been undercharging and you're worth every penny. And you don't always know who that's going to be. And that's not the point. The point is not to do that. The point is to create a long-term, sustainable business. And too many of us have businesses that have been limping along, that have been treading water, that are in just survive. And you may look successful. You may have people booked out for months. You may have this giant wait list. But is your business effortless? Is your business easy? Do you come home at the end of the day and have lots of energy for your family? Are you working the days and times that you want to work? Or are you trapped in your business? Are you people pleasing until you're ready to snap? Right? Because I find that's what a lot of you guys are doing, guys. You are people pleasing until you snap. And I see it happen all the time. Someone has been giving a client, a lack of boundary, and then you finally snap. And it's partly the client's fault, but mostly it's our fault, right? Because we weren't clear and we were bending over backwards, or we weren't being paid enough. You would have a lot more patience for doodle owners if they were giving you $200 to $400 a month. That's just the reality. You're getting upset that the doodle owner came in with a matted dog because you're shaving it down for $85 to $120 when your Shih Tzu is $55, $65. If that doodle owner was paying you $200 for a 4-week groom, or it was a matted 10 strip or even a matted 4 strip for $400, you wouldn't be so upset. Now, that's not the answer for everything. I have no cookie cutter answers for you. There's certain generalities that I can give you guys, but what you need to do is the work, right? You need to go through the class or watch my free videos and actually do the work. I will say this, you can watch hundreds of hours for free, piece my information together, or you can sign up for the class and learn how to do it step by step. Either way, I want to be here and support you. That's the most important thing to me. It's so important to me to help this industry push forward. And we are at a point where we are beginning to crack and break as an industry. The things that we have been told for years and years and years and years don't work. They don't work. Hiring employees at 50% commission doesn't work. Just hiring a bather to make more money doesn't work. Okay? Charging what you feel is fair without actually doing the math and learning how and why and deciding how you're going to tell your clients, and then also knowing how often you're going to increase those prices, that's important. Candace is saying hello and that she misses group mentoring already. Girl, we missed you in that group. If you guys haven't done group mentoring at all, so on Thursday nights right now, that may move for the summer, we have an hour that we get together, hour and a half, and we have a free coaching discussion. It's really fun. I really enjoy it. It's one of my favorite things to do. I actually really love all of my business. Like, there's certain things that are a little bit extra work, and sometimes they're difficult. They're a little hard. But I definitely really love Savvy Groomer. And I want other groomers to have a business they love. I loved my cat grooming business. And if I could have done cat grooming and this full time, I would have. You know, it's really fun now that I get to like hop back into that business when I miss it and groom cats for a little bit and then hop out. It's a real blessing, and I'm not going to say it's not. But all right, guys, I adore you. Whether it's through me, whether it's through other training that you do, it's going to be really important for you to figure out how to go from surviving to thriving, or in this case, from a survival mentality and mindset to a Savvy Groomer mindset. You don't have to follow what I follow and do whatever I say, but figure out what is yours, right? For me, it is having the energy to come home to my kid. For me, it is being able to take the days off that I want to take off. And they're off days. They're not like I'm going to do work on my days off, right? I want to be able to travel and go to places that I want to go to. I don't want to be trapped in my business. I want to hire and fire the clients that I want. If I have a client that I need to make room for because I love Persian kittens. They have a Persian kitten and that's what I want. That's what I'm going to make room for. And if I have a person that I just don't vibe with and I don't really vibe with the pet, or something's just off, I want to be able to say, thank you so much. I don't feel like this is the right fit. Right? I think that is a great way to live your life. And personally, for my life is all about empowerment and freedom. Those are the pillars of my life. Everything I do, I say, does this empower me? And does this make me more free? And freedom isn't necessarily no responsibilities and not having to do anything. Freedom is the choice to choose what I want to choose, and then to choose to not do things when I don't want to do them anymore. And I want that all for you guys. If I could figure out a way to shake you all and be like, please take these things, whether it's my free stuff or my paid stuff, without being your hero and just being your guide. Let me guide you to the life that you want. And I can't tell you what life you want. You have to know what life you want. All right, guys. Well, I am going to end it there because as much as I love and adore you all, I do want to get ready. I have one last get together with the Business Bootcamp people. They're going to help me review the class. And I already had one review and it was really good. I'm really excited. But I want to make sure that I did what I meant to do with them. And that's important to me, is feedback, becoming a better person, becoming a better teacher, right? That's important to me. And I want you guys to have more than enough money, more than enough time with loved ones and friends. If you want to be a dog show person, go to dog shows on the weekend. Don't worry about your business, right? If you want to have 10 employees, have 10 employees, and have it in a situation, hi, can I help you? That it makes you feel free and empowered and not, I have to hire somebody, right? I don't want you to have to do anything, or at least not have to do it forever. Okay. Hey, 80, great to see you here live. Well, I'm going to love you and leave you guys. If you need anything, please feel free to check out my Facebook, which is, oh God, I'm trying to find the little picture. I have all these great pictures that I'm doing and I always forget how to do it. Oh God, here we go. So feel free to join my free Facebook group, the Savvy Pet Professionals. I'm excited. We've got some things coming up for that. I'm excited to be able to do more things in the Facebook group now that we've upgraded some software and made it a little bit easier. Very excited for that. And like I said before, if you guys are interested, you are more than welcome to come to the Price Increase Masterclass Live. That is starting next Monday. Our cart is closing as of tomorrow. I'm sorry, not tomorrow. Sunday at midnight. So I'd love to see you guys there. And if not, that's okay. There's lots of other ways that we can help each other. I will say this is that this is the last one we're doing this year live. We are not doing another Price Increase Masterclass live this year. We will be doing one a year because we do have other projects coming down. And I want to focus on that. So every year we're going to do it live. The benefit of doing it live is it helps you with your momentum. You can always do it self-study. That's always an option. But having a group behind you and having those extra people really does help. Candace is saying River is the best and she knows what she is talking about. Thank you so much, Candace. I appreciate that. I'm looking forward to working with all of you in whatever capacity it is. Okay, guys, I'm going to go eat myself some French bread pizza, and then I'm going to get ready for my next walkthrough with, like I said, my business bootcamp people. So I want to thank you all for coming to my TED Talk about survival mindset and a Savvy Groomer mindset. Again, I hope I don't come off preachy. I hope that it comes off genuine and honest, because that's how I feel. I don't want you to feel like you are not capable of great things. I want you to do whatever it is that you want to do, whatever that means to you, whatever you value, and change your mind and not lose everything if you change your mind. Guys, I built up a business that was making a lot of money, like multiple six figures, and I wasn't happy. So I sold it. And then guess what? I built a business I did love. And then when I found something else that I loved more, I sold that business and I did this. It's a good feeling. And I didn't have anyone else to help me, unfortunately, financially. And that's okay. Because by not having someone else to help me financially, I was able to be clever and to create a pathway that can be replicated or modified to fit you guys. All right, so it has been awesome. I will talk to you later. And as always, guys, happy grooming.